Guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So one thing that's very positive for Dokkan in 2024, so far 2024 has been very good, but something that I think is kind of, I don't know if it's completely going under the radar, but two types of characters I feel like have had massive leaps and improvements this year, and that's sub-EZA characters and free-to-play characters. We've had a number of both types of characters that are actually pretty competitive. And I think that this Babidi and Buu would count. I mean, if we back up and take a look at this team, 1, 2, 3. We have 3 free-to-play characters here on the team. And I think that this team, the worst character on this team is the physical Super Buu. We could take him off and put, character that's a little better, like Exchange Buu or something like that. I probably will, actually. But I feel like we could, we could do good with a lineup like this with a bunch of free-to-play characters, which I think is really awesome. Now, in terms of build here, I did just go maximum dodge. I'm looking at this character, and it just feels like we need them to be dodging. I think this is a character that could have a little bit of an impact, but again, their defensive mechanic, even some of the largest critics of dodge would concede when we're talking about like free-to-play characters, obviously. I know this is a free-to-play LR, but still. So, all right, we have that done. Real quick, I meant to do this during the EZA area video for Buu and Babidi. I'm actually still kind of mad at myself that I forgot to do it, but remember that the missions for getting this character done are quite good. Quite lucrative, especially for like a free-to-play player, and a free-to-play player if you're a global player waiting for the anniversary coming up. So we can just go ahead and grab this. So these are all the missions from EZAing them and then having them at LR and stuff like that. And it's, look, dude, come on. Guys, that's, a multi for Beast Gohan right there, practically. That's good shit. I'll take the 13 Kais, too. The orbs, that's good stuff right there. Bam. Awesome. All right, so let's hop in. And let's see how effective EZA, LR, Babidi, and Buu are. Alright guys, so we are here in an event. We're going up against the Evolution Blue Vegeta. He's a fairly competitive fight. I do like using him for kind of like showcase fights. Okay, so Ki seems to be a bit of an issue here for Babidi and Buu. Now one part of their kit, which we're not going to be able to get in this first fight, I just wanted to, let's start out, see how they look in kind of like a normal tough fight. And then we could just go to a different fight and see, the rest of their passive. They get an extra 3 Ki. The Ki would be helpful here. 50% attack and defense. And a guaranteed additional super if the enemy is in attack down, defensive down, stunned, or sealed. Now, in this particular fight, Vegeta's immune to everything, but there are quite a few really tough fights that you could do something in. You could do one of those abilities. I'm talking about the last phase, like Cell Max, Blue Gogeta, Sword of Hope Trunks. A lot of these fights, debuffs are actually a viable strategy. So that's good to know. We're going to have a really good linking partner in the Babidi and Deborah right here. So let's see. So our link set is Master of Magic, Thirst for Conquest, Brutal Beatdown, Nightmare, Fear and Faith, Shattering the Limit, and Legendary Power. So you have everything active here except for Shattering the Limit. Pretty good. Alright, so we will be able to hit the 18 Ki Super, which is good. I suppose Vegeta could probably wipe us out. So we have 200k defense right at the start right there. That's not the greatest. Let's just go ahead and go through with the turn, and then we'll start talking about what they're doing. Okay, please dodge. Cool, that's good. Oh, 300k damage is quite a bit. 7.5. Okay, that's a little low. Sure. Their 18 Ki super attack effect, we're getting 50% attack and defense. They have a high chance to seal and a high chance to stun. 12 Ki super attack, 30% attack and defense, high chance to seal, high chance to stun. Having high chance to seal and high chance to stun on each is actually rather good. I think I could see that being very good for Cell Max, Battlefield, Super Battle Road stages. That's a pretty powerful ability right there. And the other thing about them too is that they don't necessarily need a category or something like that. Like what they are, they'll be that in a lot of different events and stuff like that. All right, I guess one reason their stats seemed a little bit low is because they'd get a bunch of additional stats and an additional super if the enemy could be debuffed, which don't worry, we'll hop into a fight to see that. Okay, so they seem decent. We did take a lot of damage from that hit right there, but I mean, that's pre-super, of course, because they get, what, 5 key, 150%? Well, actually, it's going to be hard to see because Fat Buu is going to heal us at the end of the turn, too. But LR, Babidi, and Buu, they recover 10% HP at the end of the turn in which an attack was received. So their healing combined with Fat Buu's healing at the end of turn, and, you know, we're going to start this next turn with full HP, which is going to be pretty good. You know, they'll fit well on the team full of healing characters, right? That's not going to hurt us at all. All right, so let's just go ahead and continue smack around Vegeta a little bit. I guess I'll just come back in Babidi and Buu's next turn here. All right, let's go ahead and get another turn right here. Well, one thing that is certainly good is that the fact that we could use Babidi and Deborah, who are like a good character. We could also get LR Babidi. You know, we could run the full LR Babidi lineup, man. It'll work pretty well right now. All right, let's hope that Vegeta doesn't punish me for putting them in slot 1, of course. But I mean, we got to get footage of them somehow. All right, please don't get hit. Yeah, make sure you're dodging. Again, I mean, you know, like a lot of characters, you know, they could do stuff. But at the end of the day, if they're not dodging, they're going to be a loser and they're going to cause us to lose. So we definitely do need to make sure that those dodges are hitting, right? So let's just take a look at kind of like what they're doing here. All right, Vegeta's not going to be able to kill us here. That's fine. Let's take a look at this. So what they're doing is they get the 5 key 150% attack and defense at the start of turn. Cool. They get the 50% attack and defense and super attack for the multiplicative buffs. They have an additional as a high chance to be a super and then a high chance to dodge as well. Then they get the 3 key 50% attack and defense and guaranteed additional super if the enemy is debuffed at all. Then they get 3 key and all enemies minus 20% attack and defense for 4 turns after dodging an attack. So there's the rest of their key, right? That debuff, too, pretty good. And then recover 10% HP at the end of turn in which an attack was received. I really like them. Because, okay, like, we could go into a Supreme Battle Spectacle stage one of these fights with them. They got the 50% chance to dodge. That means they're giving us a competitive chance. And then I just think of, you know, these things matter. Battlefield, Super Battle Road. Like, people will pretend like, oh, whatever. Like, unless it's, you know, Supreme Battle Spectacle Gogeta, right? Unless it's the hardest fight in the game, nothing matters, which is not true. But the funniest thing in the world is that I'm always looking for characters to have these mechanics to compete in these big fights, right? Where, like, 2 years ago, everyone was saying more matters than just Red Zone. And it's like, yeah, but you need stuff to handle Red Zone as well. But now we're talking about a free-to-play character who has mechanics to deal with the big fights. But then again, we also have all of these debuffs, which I think really matter. Again, Battlefield, Super Battle Road, all these different types of stages. It's going to be very, very good to be able to have all these debuffs and all these abilities. So this is a free-to-play character that could potentially control some of these fights. I mean, because the debuff from the passive and then the chance to stun and seal. Again, potentially a decent option for Cell Max. I mean, if they got touched even once against Cell Max, you're done. But, you know, they've got some stuff. All right, so I think I will probably, at this point, that is a lot of attacks right at the start. I think a little Buhan-chan action right there in slot 1 will do us well, for sure. We can give all those orbs to them. Yep, perfect. All right, so let's get this last turn right here. And then after this, we do need to jump over to a fight where we can have the enemy be debuffed. So we can see Babidi and Buu with their extra stats. And then, I mean, I'll probably just, for shits and giggles, we could throw on LR Babidi. And then we could throw on the 50% support evil, the Super Buu as well. So with those two characters, kind of just, you know, see what Babidi and Buu can do. But yeah, I like them. I mean, this is just, yeah, newsflash. It's not hard to make solid characters at all. It's not tough. It's not tough to make characters who can be competitive. Like this is a unit that's a decent option for the Buu Saga team. I mean, I'm looking at them. I mean, they're going to be better on Terrifying Conquerors than most of the Terrifying Conqueror roster. I'm sure of that, right? A lot of those characters that just have raw defense with no defensive mechanics whatsoever. I'll rather run this character. Only thing about running this character on Terrifying Conquerors is that team is likely going to be built almost completely around big bad bosses, which... Okay, we do need to get the dodges in, though. We definitely need to dodge this. Definitely need to dodge this. Okay. Yes. Goats. They look pretty good to me. Hey, that's a death shot super attack. You guys know that. They're looking pretty solid to me. Do we live the turn? I think Babidi and Deborah are going to, of course, need to dodge this because this is class disadvantage, type disadvantage. Nice triple. Yeah, good free-to-play characters. I'll take it, man. Dodge. Nice. Look at that. Looking good. Wait a minute, guys. I just realized something. So I just popped the active skill. Like, I'm just going to finish this run out. And I realized I don't think I've ever done the active skill when we've been damaged before. So this is just going to full heal us here. No, it doesn't, actually. That is not a full heal. Okay. Oh, that actually... I think I like the active skill just a very tiny bit less. Not the biggest deal, but I had assumed that that was going to be a full heal. We got, what, about 100,000 HP from it? I mean, it's decent. It's a nice extra heal alongside the healing from, like, Buhan and all these characters. It's fine. But, damn, okay. Because like, LR Bulma's active is a full heal, right? You're going to get a full field of same type orbs and stuff like that. Bit of a shame that that's not, but at least it is still some healing. I just realized that that was the first time I feel like I've had a chance to use the active, and I've actually had damage sustained so we could see the healing part of it. So, okay, there we go. Let's move on again to a fight where we could debuff the enemy and see what Babidi and Buu can do like that. Alright, guys, so we have essentially the perfect rotation, exactly what we're looking for. We are going to, as you can see, Broly is already debuffed. He's defensive debuffed. So that means we're going to be able to just sit here and see them at max power. I mean, this is max power right here. This is going to be everything we need. So after they dodge, they do get another 3 key, and they'll debuff the enemy's attack and defense by 20% for 4 turns. But that doesn't really, that's not going to change like the actual defensive and attack stats we have up right here. We have all 7 links activated. Now, keep in mind, they do have Fear and Faith, which is the reason why Broly's defense is lowered right now, and Paragus' defense is lowered right now. So they have a link that can activate their passive and get them the additional key, the additional stats, and the additional super attack. So that's something to keep in mind, right? They do have kind of like a built-in way to get it right away. And then, of course, don't forget that they do have the high chance to stun and the high chance to seal with all their super attack effects as well. So 15 million they jump up to. Yeah, so that's right around what Goku, Krillin, and Bulma were doing. Okay, so we have an additional 50% chance to be a super. That's that one right there. Now we have a guaranteed additional super. And then we have the chance that we could get the Hidden Potential System additional as well. So, yeah, they definitely seem like a good character, man. A lot of different abilities that they have access to. The debuffing, well, just with attack and defense. They've got the heal if they get hit. I could see myself using this character quite a bit in runs, for sure. Let's just do, like, maybe, like, one more rotation and we can finish up. But, yeah, seems like another solid free-to-play character. Alright, guys, let's just, again, do one more little rotation right here. And we'll finish up. We, again, have all 7 links activated. Yeah, let's just go ahead and attack the Broly. We'll get this rotation, and we'll finish up. So, let me know what you guys are thinking, but, yep. Definitely pretty excited, pretty glad to see that they're actually giving us, again, very solid options here. 15 for Babidi and Deborah. That's higher than I've seen from them, I think. So that's pretty good. I still think we could see additional EZA characters during this Golden Week celebration as well. I mean, we've had, you know, a bunch of these characters. Change Buu, this character, Babidi and Deborah. Like, a lot of these characters have gotten their EZAs during this celebration. And again, been very competitive characters. There's the stun. And remember that not only do they have the chance to stun with these, but they also have a chance to seal. And that's something that will be, again, so big in some of these fights. Like, hey, let's say we did a Red Zone movie boss rush and we wanted to seal Janemba. Yeah. Babidi and Buu could seal Janemba. Oh, we got all 4 attacks right there. Perfect. That's the best they could do is 4 attacks. Also, our HP on this team, we're above 700,000. Definitely got to love that. So, all right, there was the EZA LR Babidi and Buu. All right, so there was the EZA LR Babidi Buu. Not bad, not bad at all. So this right here, this is Worldwide Terror, Babidi and Majin Buu. Good. Leader skills, Majin Buu Saga category key 4 and 150% to stats. 12 key super is Babidi and Buu's Wonton Destruction. 30% attack and defense for 1 turn, colossal damage, then a 50% chance to seal and a 50% chance to stun. I do like both stun and seal being on there like that, pretty good. Then their 18 key super attack, Babidi and Buu's Campaign of Vengeance. They get 50% attack and defense, meg colossal damage to the enemy, high chance to seal, high chance to stun. Pretty good. Their passive skill, Second Wave of Terror. They get 5 key and 150% attack and defense at the start of turn. Then they get 50% attack and defense on super attack. They get a guaranteed addition with a high chance to be a super, and then they also have a high chance to dodge. Then they get 3 key, 50% attack and defense, and a guaranteed additional super if the enemy is in attack down status, defensive down status, stunned, or sealed. So even some big time boss fights are able to be debuffed with those. So that's not like previously, it's like you wouldn't be able to see those in any like major fights, but now you can. I mean, especially Cellmax, this character, they would die to 1 hit at like pretty much any point early on, but if you can get them past that initial wave, they could help lock down the end of the fight. So they could be a decent character for that fight. Then they get 3 key and all enemies minus 20% attack and defense for 4 turns after they dodge an attack. And then they recover 10% HP at the end of the turn in which an attack was received. Their links are Master of Magic, Thirst for Conquest, Brutal Beatdown, Nightmare, Fear and Faith, Shattering Limit, and Legendary Power. So they do have a couple of links, Brutal Beatdown, Thirst for Conquest, Legendary Power, Fear and Faith, Nightmare. That could be common on like a Terrifying Conqueror team, because that's one thing I'm keeping an eye out for them, is their potential ability to be on that team. So there's that. 12 key multiplier, 140%, 24 key multipliers, 200%. And then Babidi and Buu are on a couple of different category teams here. So they, of course, are on the Majin Buu Saga team. They only had one 200% leader skill that they could be on, and that was Dokkan Fest Fat Buu, which, of course, is the team we were running today. They're also over here on the Join Forces category team. Okay. Then they're on the Terrifying Conqueror team. This is good. I mean, we do need Terrifying Conqueror buffs. I mean, I really would like if they would respect Dokkan Fest characters. And Frieza in the top right corner came out. And then we've gotten a free-to-play Chilled who's like very like mid or kind of like okay-ish kind of. But then King Vegeta is a pure Saiyan like support, right? Or Vegeta family. And then Ginyu needs to be on a special pose team. So it's like, we get 2 new characters directly after Frieza who can't do anything for Frieza. At least Babidi and Buu are a character we could run on Terrifying Conquerors. So that's at least the first one. And that's why Frieza needing Terrifying Conquerors is not the biggest deal ever, because it's a huge roster. It's not like they're asking for Universe 6 characters or something, right? Terrifying Conquerors is a massive roster. So there's that. Then we also have, what is this? This is the Inhuman Deeds category team. Still, Inhuman Deeds has never been like a real team. It's never gotten a true leader from when the category first came out, which is just so crazy. It could be a pretty good team, potentially, or at least a good leader skill as a part of, 1 of 3 or something like that. And then finally, down here, they're on Worldwide Chaos, so that's good. LR Fusion Zamasu's Worldwide Chaos team. I think LR Tech Fusion Zamasu is probably better than a lot of players give him credit for at this point. I think he's a decent character that potentially could be, he could still be solid. So let me know what you guys think of the EZA LR Babidi and Buu, but not bad. I'd say they're a pretty good character, actually.